This video was recorded live before a canned studio audience. It's Friday Night Movie Reviews, and here they are, Chris and Keith.
Hi, thank you. I'm Keith.
I'm Chris.
And this is Friday Night Movie Reviews. Thank you for coming to join us tonight. We love it whenever you join us, and we love being in your living rooms, on your devices, or in your bedroom, on your devices.
Or on the toilet, whatever.
Wherever you happen to be watching us, and whatever devices you happen to be watching us on.
Now, this is special because this is actually a streaming review we are doing today.
Right. So, we're not actually reviewing a movie this time. We are reviewing a show that is on a streaming service. And that show is called
The Pitt, and it is available on Max, and it's soon going to go back to the moniker HBO Max that I've always called it. Or you could ARG it, if you know what we mean without...
you could go ARG.
This show, I have referred to it as the show as the word of mouth show, because literally that's how I found out about it.
Right.
Because the show is not very well advertised.
Right.
And since it's only available on a streaming show, it's not actually on the HBO channel proper. It's only available on the app, which is interesting.
Right.
And I think that's probably why as many people haven't heard about it. But that was one of the reasons that I recommended it to Keith, because I actually watched it first and I actually recommended it to him. And I said, listen, we both have lived this show because we've worked at a trauma hospital.
Right.
That's why he's wearing his scrub top now. I wasn't as prepared, so I didn't bring my scrub top with me. We would have looked identical for the review, because it is the same pewter gray color that we both wear. But we've lived it. And, I typically avoid medical shows because I live it, and I can see the inaccuracies. Like, I loved the show House back in the day, but I could not watch House now because I know of all the inaccuracies in it.
Oh, yeah. I can't stand it. I can't stand it when I'm watching a medical show and in the background or right there in the foreground, they're looking at an x-ray and it's sideways.
Oh, yeah, or
upside down.
Or it's not even an x-ray image, it's like an MRI or a CT.
And it's an MRI and they're calling it a CT.
Yeah,
or an X-ray or whatever. And if you haven't guessed, just to kind of let you guys in on a little portion of our personal lives, we are X-ray technologists. We both work at different places. We met at one place, and that's how we became friends. But now we work at separate places.
So we both have trauma hospital experience, just like what you see on The Pitt.
Right.
I have to say, it is extremely medical accurate. I don't know how they pulled it off. They use all the correct terms like GCS. You'll hear that on the show mentioned a lot. You'll hear crepitus.
I am pretty sure that they had to have a lot of actual doctors as consultants.
They had
in this show. Had to. Now, in case you don't know very much about this show, it's supposed to be a trauma hospital in Pittsburgh.
Yep,
which is the reason why it's called The Pitt. And the main attending there is Noah Wiley. And if you know that name from any other show, you'll know it from the old show called ER that was on NBC. He was Dr. Carter on that show.
Yeah, and he was fantastic on that, and I can guarantee you he's fantastic on this.
Yes, but this show is going, because ER was on a network.
It was more drama.
It was more
like a soap opera.
And it was very downplayed.
Yeah.
This show, it does have drama in it. It is a drama.
But to be honest with you, with employees, with you working in a high-stress environment, you're going to have that drama.
You're going to have drama.
And I've actually asked doctors that I work with, they go, after watching The Pitt, I didn't realize you guys had that much interpersonal conflict and drama. And she'd go, oh, you would be surprised. That's what one of them told me. Because I specifically asked a female doctor this.
Right.
And She was like, "Oh no, you'd be really surprised." I said, "No, that's actually accurate to the show."
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked to several like trauma attendings if they've watched the show, and they said, "No, this show is accurate." They said, "I don't know how they pulled it off."
Right.
And I think with it being, I say that's, there are advantages and disadvantages to it being on a streaming service, but I think with it being on a streaming service, they have more freedom to actually make it more accurate.
Right.
And you get to see really some of the horrific things that me and him have both actually seen in real life.
Right. A lot of the stuff that you see on that show, a lot of it we have actually experienced in real life. The thing is, the medical terminology is there.
Yes.
So it is like super accurate. The equipment that they use is extremely accurate.
The patients.
The patients. Oh my gosh.
I want a sandwich.
The patients. Yeah. I want. Where's my sandwich? I mean, there's that guy. Then there's the crazy lady in the wheelchair.
Yes.
I mean, that's there. We both worked in a level 1 trauma center, and what we saw there, I mean, when I first saw the show, he wanted me to watch it,
and he was skeptical, just like I was.
He wanted me to watch it and say, I kind of feel like it's like this, but see what you think about it and see if I'm accurate. And I watched it, and I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, did they film that at that hospital?
I know. I'm like, were they following us around?
Right.
I mean,
because
it's scary.
It looks so much like where we worked, man.
Yeah.
It looks so much like it. So, in case you haven't noticed, I really enjoyed the show.
I did too.
I loved it.
His Noah Wiley's character, Dr. Rabinovich, is how you pronounce it, right?
Rabinovich. They call him Dr. Robbie.
Dr. Robbie's for short. He does it again. Absolutely great character.
Right. But let me stop you right there.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Noah Wiley, if you're looking for Dr. Carter when you're watching this show, you're going to be severely disappointed.
Way different character.
This is not Dr. Carter. It is not. Noah Wiley has really matured in his acting abilities.
And the one thing I will mention, and it may be a slight spoiler, is it does touch upon what we went through with COVID and all the stress and all the loss of life that happened during that point. I will say that they do touch upon it, and it's done very well. It's done tastefully.
Very tastefully.
There's not a political edge to it. It's very just simply presenting you with the facts, how it actually was, and they did it very tastefully. And the drama that you do get on the show doesn't take away from the show at all. It feels like actual drama that you would actually experience while working in a trauma hospital.
Now, I'm going to throw a disclaimer and a warning out there.
Yes.
If you are squeamish about seeing blood or seeing insides or seeing the inside of a person's body or seeing guts or seeing any kind of like limbs like torn off or whatever, you don't need to watch this show.
Yeah, this is not the show for you.
If you're squeamish about that kind of stuff, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Not at all.
And just to point out, this is not a family show. This is meant for mommy and daddy to wait for the kids to go to bed, close the door.
Yeah, do not let your kids watch this show.
Because this show, because it is medical, does have medical nudity. It does have it in there. It has the language from the patients. It's going to have a lot of that. So that's something to be... I know. We experienced a lot of that.
Oh, my gosh. I'm sitting here having flashbacks just talking about it.
The lady in the wheelchair, how many patients do we have just like her? And what she said to Dr. Robbie, calling him a fruitcake, like that just... Oh, man.
And then the other name she gave him, but he said he didn't like it.
Yeah, he says, you can call me Dr. Robbie, Dr. Ravinovich, but not...
Call me doctor. You can call me Michael or David or what, or any of those names. But I don't like fruitcake.
Yeah.
And then what she told him after that, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
So if you're squeamish about seeing the blood, the guts, and that sort of thing, I mean, they don't hold back about, getting a scalpel and cutting somebody. I mean, in other shows, they kind of get behind, the camera gets behind somebody and you just see them reach down and you don't see nothing. No,
They show
this
you.
this show shows you. It shows you everything that they're doing. It shows you everything that's going on, and they don't hold back. They don't pull any punches. You see it all. You see it all, just like you are right there in the trauma bay, standing over the stretcher, watching it in person.
Yep. The other highlight of the show is each episode is only an hour of their shift. So obviously, a typical trauma hospital, you're going to do 12-hour shifts. But you're like, well, wait a minute, Chris. There's 15 episodes. That's the surprise, and I'm not going to spoil why it's 15 episodes, why they go over an extra 3 hours.
Right.
You'll have to watch the show.
It's actually really cool because I love the way they broke it down. Every episode is an hour in their day.
And see,
it's awesome.
And see, what I love too is there's Easter eggs where you see patients from an early episode, and then they become the highlight of a different hour later on. Mm-hmm. So you really do have to pay attention to your surroundings, pay attention to all the different people that are in the waiting room because they might come up later.
That waiting room was exactly like where we worked. It was exactly like
patients not understanding, well, why am I having to wait this long?
Yeah.
Why is this person going ahead of me?
Right.
And
and I love the way they explained it. Get more nurses, put more staff upstairs where we can get these people. I loved it because that's exactly the problem.
Yeah.
When you go to the ER and sit in the ER for 8 hours, it's because the hospital that you're at is improperly staffed.
Yep.
That's the whole reason why.
Whether it be X-ray like us, the nursing, phlebotomy,
exactly,
any of the different.
They don't have enough staff.
Yeah, because it takes a certain type of person to do this kind of job. It's not easy. It really does. It's not for the faint of heart. No. I have seen people quit literally after a day on a shift because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's just so much of it, and it does, just the authenticity of the show. Just to go back to that. The grizzled charge nurse that holds the trauma bay together.
that starts out looking okay, but as the day wears on,
she starts to look like what more used to. Because I told you that was my thing. Was she didn't look grizzled enough, but then wait till you get about halfway through the shift, and then she starts looking the way we expect her to look.
Everybody does. Yeah, though. Everybody. Yeah. Now I will tell you this: with all of the trauma that's going on, in that with all the trauma that's going on, every episode, it is exactly like that.
Yeah.
And it can get worse than that actually, because depending on how many mass
casualties
like wrecks or something like that you have coming in, it can get really, 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 really hectic, really, really fast. So the craziness that you see on the show is very authentic. This show is a very authentic show. They had to have people that had worked in level 1 trauma centers.
And I found out that is actually a set they constructed, that they modeled it off of some hospital. But it looks.
I bet they went to that. I bet they went to hours and took pictures.
I'm telling you.
Let's make it look just like that.
I mean, because it feels like they're in a real hospital. And I think, obviously, on the outside, they did film a hospital somewhere in Pittsburgh. But, I mean, when you're in there, nowhere did I look on there and think, oh, that's a set. Like, right. You'd be watching ER, you could kind of tell, right?
And the x-rays were turned up right, the way they were supposed to be.
And they show, and we actually do appear on the show on episode 8. That's a minor spoiler.
Yeah.
You will finally get to see a portable x-ray machine in the room taking a chest x-ray.
And it's not upside down.
It's not upside down.
Oh, I was so thrilled when I saw it. I was like,
if you are an x-ray tech and happen to watch our channel, if you could identify which portable machine for me that is, because I didn't recognize the brand.
Yes, please put that in the comments.
Because I've only ever used Carestream and GE, so I'm not familiar with what brand that is.
AMX.
Well, AMX is G. Well, it was GE. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
the
true.
clunkers as we call them. But if you're
Those are
familiar
tanks.
with what brand that is, let us know in the comments because I've never worked with that particular type of portal, but I could tell it was an X-ray machine.
Yeah, and they really didn't show the brand name on it.
Yeah, and I had a feeling it was to avoid
Probably.
copyright and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff is why they did that.
we want some advertising things.
Yeah, if you show our product, yeah.
Right, you showed our product.
But it was nice to see us actually on the show.
Right.
Because I got worried. I'm like, 8 episodes in, I had to wait to see that. I'm like, there I am finally. One of my kind.
Right.
But
Well-
I can only say nice things about this show.
Exactly.
It's fantastic. The acting is top notch. Brad Dourif's daughter, Fiona, plays one of the doctors on the show. So if you know who Brad Dourif is, he's the voice of Chucky. He was Wormtongue on Lord of the Rings. His daughter is on here, Fiona, and she looks just like him. She's a phenomenal actress.
Yeah, she does a really good job.
And she's got an interesting backstory and character, so look out for her. Besides because we only mostly just mentioned Dr. Robbie. I wanted to mention her because she was kind of one of the standouts on the show.
Yeah, she was.
But everybody on there did such a wonderful job. I really have nothing bad to say about it. So the question I guess you're going to pose to us is this worth your time to stream?
Right. Is it worth your time to stream? And I would definitely say I would give this a definite yes. Not just because I have worked through it, not just because I have lived it, but and not just for the authenticity of it, but for the simple fact that it's just it's just a good show.
It is. And it literally after I got done with episode 15, I'm like, where's season 2?
Right.
And
when is season 2 coming out?
And supposedly season 2 is going to be set on a 4th of July.
Oh,
and
nice.
we've worked that, and I can tell you
Yeah.
that's one of the worst days of the year to work.
It's going to be crazy.
So
yeah, I can just see it now. The blown up, the fingers blown off the hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. So
the lip blown off where they held a firecracker in their mouth. Yeah, we've seen those kinds of things.
So
it's stupid, crazy.
Season 2, please come soon. I'm ready for you.
Yeah. I guarantee you we're going to see some really familiar stuff.
And we will review season 2 when it comes out.
Yeah.
So that's a guarantee.
So I would definitely say this is definitely worth your time. You really need to sit down and watch these. I binged it in probably about 3 days.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's about how long it took me.
So,
and then I told you about it.
Yeah, so I would definitely sit down and find some way to watch it and sit down and watch this show unless you're squeamish. If you are, or have a weak stomach, or if you're like a really good friend of mine who sees something like that and he can't eat for 3 days after, you need to stay away from it.
Yep.
But otherwise, if you're in the medical field, you need to watch this because this is what we've been through.
Yep.
If you really just like medical shows, if that's your thing, hey, you know what? Watch this because this is the best medical show I've seen.
Oh yeah,
Period.
hands out. This is better than House.
Period. Yeah, it's better than House. It's better than ER.
Yep. For you ladies out there, I'm sorry, it's better than Grey's Anatomy.
Yep. Sorry,
I hate to tell you that, but this show is phenomenal. Continue to spread the word of mouth on the show. I would like to see the show continue to go even beyond season 2.
Right.
And continue just to give ratings on season 1, so the Nelson's chart it'll show up. And it has shown up on the Nelson's chart. It was like 7 or 8 on the list at one point. So please spread the word.
I would definitely give this one. I would definitely give this show. Man, I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 popcorns. Man.
I was about to say,
deserves it.
I was going to jaw drop if you didn't. 10 out of 10 Pepsis for me. This show is fantastic. Well worth your time. I am so glad that I suggested it to Keith.
Oh, and I'm glad he let me know about it.
Because I'm still in disbelief about how good it is and how accurate it is.
Yeah,
so
me too.
So definitely give it a watch for sure.
Yeah, this show really deserves all of the attention that you can give it, and man, you have got to watch this show. So there's our cue to go.
Yep. Remember to hit that bell notification for when our next video drops. Remember to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, remember to comment. Let us know what you thought of The Pitt. What would you like to see in season 2? And I'd love to hear your opinions on it. And as always, thank you for watching.
And hey, you know what? If you're in the medical field also, shoot, let us know what you do. Maybe not necessarily where you work, but let us know what you do. And let us know how accurate you think this show is, because I'm telling you, for me, it was dead on.
Yeah.
It hit the nail on the head. Hey, listen, don't let your kids watch it, but you know what? Get some other people that don't have weak stomachs, and you guys sit down and watch this show together, because I think you're really going to enjoy it. And while you're watching it, remember, enjoy your streaming show.